All right, this is daily chart of BBRY, and BBRY is a stock I've been covering for a long time, and have been correct for the longest time. I was correct on the last earnings run, and I was correct about exiting. I didn't expect the pullback that they had, but I was correct on exiting, and since that exit point, all the way back in July, the stock has not been able to confirm, and still has not been able to confirm. Now, I believe this was very bullish action today. However, it still has to confirm. Um, I am now looking at an entry of between 10.70 to $11 a share. Okay, so and that's going to depend on volume. So if I'm looking for some strong volume, something like 5 to 10 million shares in the first 30 minutes of trading, for example. And if the volume is not there, and the volume comes in later on, up to 2 hours or so, and we see what kind of strength. But if there is no power in that 10.70 to $11 area, especially not with the volume, I would not be bothering with this, because the volume should be coming in now. The fact of the matter is, where I got out at 11.19 for 100% gains on options. I'm looking to make another 100%. I'm a directional trader. I'm not interested in day trading. So this is set up to possibly have a strong pop to 12 to 14. However, it still has to confirm. So I can get in here cheaper than where I sold it at, and make a good profits again. A lot of people, still think that for sure BlackBerry is going to go to these higher numbers, and there's really no, there's no proof. It's still in the bottom of the pit, the stock. Right. So here's the deal. It's in the bottom of the pit, right? It's the bottom of the technology sector. It's a matter of, it doesn't mean that it can't go up, but what I'm getting at, it is the bottom of the pit, right? And so what the stock really needs is volume and price action. And when it doesn't have volume, as you can see, it was really dry, the volume. Look at the 6 million. It doesn't. It moves up, but it doesn't. Look at it, and then it dropped, and it dropped. That's a big drop for BlackBerry, right? I call this the chop zone, and we're still kind of in that chop zone. But as it clears 1070 as an early entry signal, or the $11 area, and this is all going to depend on the price action and the volume. This has a good chance to make a nice run. But if it can't confirm, it could just chop around and slowly chop lower for all I know. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm not shorting the stock. Though I probably would have made more money shorting the stock, but that's not what I do. I usually look for long positions, stocks that have things that are in your favor. And I mean, BlackBerry's been pretty good to me, but just talking reality here. A lot of people are just throwing out crazy numbers, and there's no proof. First things first. Can this stock get to $12 to $14 a share? And then from there, we'll be able to get an idea. That's the first thing. How it gets there and what kind of progress it's making. Because I mean, there's room for BlackBerry, right? Apple can't sell all the phones. Neither can Google sell all the phones. So there's a reason for there's a possibility for BlackBerry to make money. I mean, but reality, it's what does the market really think here? And there's a lot of different opinions, just on like in everything. But the way I look at it is, let the market, let the market tell us. And right now, it's a mixed. I mean, there's a mixed signals looking at this thing. The only way to really know, people were also commenting, there's a volume. Yeah, there was the volume, but there wasn't the price confirmation, right? They took this down, the stock. We didn't go anywhere. The stock is still down. I mean, people are cheering, donkeys. Look where the stock was a few days ago. It was before earnings. It was at 1093, and now it's at 1026, and you're cheering. The stock is down from earnings. Let me put it back. BBRY. So there you have it. If the stock can confirm, let's cheer then, right? But until then, I mean, the stock is still down from earnings. They're going crazy. Look what they did. I mean, this is a game being played. This isn't. This isn't. Uh, the investors aren't holding this stock. They get rid of it. There's no faith in this stock. I mean, we had this run. It was a nice run, but it was cut short. I thought this would go even more, but I didn't like the action, and I exited the position, and I was glad I did. And they really pulled the sucker back. And my visionary lines told me there was a lot of problems. Right now, there's still problems in here. It's an iffy thing, right? I'm not guessing like some people they guess, but in reality, there's been a lot of failure. Failure here, failure here, failure. You follow my picture? Look, failure popped down. Nothing's changed yet. We need lots of volume in that 1070 being the earliest entry point, and that depends on the volume. That's why I give a range, 1070 to $11 a share, and I talk reality. I've always said that this stock could go higher, but it couldn't prove itself. So, I mean, I have no control over what the market wants to do. Nobody does, right? We can just read it. And right now, anybody saying it's going to 12 or 14, they're out to lunch for sure. How do you know? It has to prove itself. Well, no. Market's going to tell us. People keep guessing. You lose money in this market guessing. Thanks for listening. Like the video.